Hi guys, just a quick one before we start. Just wanted to let you know that we, as a podcast, do support the writers' strike over in the States at the moment. And we recorded this episode before we got a comprehensive list of what studios were and were not supporting their writers. So we're going to, in future episodes, till the dispute is resolved, going to pick films not from those studios as best we can. We'd got this one in the can, so we're putting it out, but we just want you to know that we do support our friends and colleagues in a way over there in the States. All right, solidarity, brothers and sisters.
Hi guys, on this show we're looking at McBride, Andrews, Arnett, Cosgrove, Wiig, Brand, Segel and Carell. We're looking at 2010's Despicable Me.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of 100 Things We Learned from Film. I'm one of your hosts, my name's Planty, and curse you, tiny toilet!
And, and I'm the other guy, I'm John, and I'm just too cool for this film.
You aren't. John, how are you?
I'm alright, buddy. It's taps off weather for the next half hour, and then it's going to be raining again in Scotland, so...
Yeah,
B-A-U, mate. B-A-U.
It's been pissing it down all day today, and tonight there's cricket on our local cricket club. There's a touring Australian team coming to play Carlisle. So your face does not show the excitement mine shows. So I was planning on going to see that, but instead I'm looking at your bra face.
Oh, mate. Go and see the water cricket. Go and see the water cricket.
It's always pissing it down here anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right, this week, listeners, we have got for you a patron's choice.
Yes.
The patrons, the people that pay us money, got a chance to choose. Now, we gave them two choices. We thought it was about time we did an animated one. So we've only ever done two animated ones before. Do you remember what they were, John?
Shrek and Shrek 2.
They were not. Early doors, we did Toy Story. And then you won't remember it because you were hammered for the recording of Tom and Jerry.
Oh God, I was out.
as I recall, you took the laptop for a wee at one point.
I had to, mate. I had to. I was drinking too much. That's back in the days before I learnt my lesson. Now I don't drink just because I keep going to the toilet.
Now that you're a professional podcaster, earning professional bucks.
Oh God!
A little bit there of behind the behind the curtain, behind the piss curtain.
Mate, I forgot all about that actually, because you kept going. Where are you going? I'm going to the toilet.
I was fucking raging.
Sorry, mate.
To cut so much stuff out of that. If we had patrons, they would have got a lot of extra stuff from that.
I know, shit,
is what it is. Right. Anyway, yeah. So what we could have been talking about Shrek, but I didn't want to talk about All Star. I didn't want to do All Star again because I'm sure we did it in another episode. What did we do instead? What did they pick for us instead, John?
So they picked the Despicable Me, and I don't know if they've done it to wind us up, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I had an okay time. It made me want to watch the second and third ones again. I think the second one I don't remember a thing about, but I know the third one, which I've only seen. Oh, there's a
natural hat. There's a natural hat in it. That's all I remember.
There's a natural hat in it. There is the bad guy is the Mexican wrestler, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's voiced by him. It's in Demolition Man. Benjamin Bratt. Is it Benjamin?
Is it Benjamin Bratt? Is it? All right. Okay. And then in the third one, it's your man out of South Park.
Yes.
Parker.
Yeah.
So I want to watch that third one again. Anyway, we didn't watch either of those. We watched the first one. With 63% of the votes, Despicable Me won. John, what year and what else could we have been watching?
So the year was 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And the things we missed out on was Titanic 2.
The Titanic King, yeah.
No, I was going to say horror, but it's the monsters. It's Monsters. That guy made that in his bedroom, didn't he? Edited it in his bedroom.
That's very good. Your man, the Welsh fella, Edwards.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah. The blonde lass. The Crazies, which
the Romero remakes, bad.
Inception.
Yeah, Busting People's Speakers there.
One called Legion. Don't remember it. Legion, is that the one we?
Is that
Paul Bettany?
yeah, I think it's the one where he's the angel,
The
and
Angel.
they're in the thing. Yeah, Monorants have done that one.
That's the one.
Really good trailer, really shit film.
Yeah, it looked really
Yeah.
good, but then just went to shit. And Kick-Ass.
Oh, Kick-Ass is good.
Kick-Ass.
Well, I don't know how well that's aged, but Kick-Ass was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they all do that now. They've all taken over the Kick-Ass way of
Exactly.
doing superhero things.
There was another one out called Remember Me. Nobody watched it because Robert Pattinson's first film after the Twilight, and nobody watched it.
Is that the film that, spoilers, ends where they're up the tower on 9/11?
That's the one. And that's the only bit that got to me. I'm like, oh man.
I've never seen it because the end's been ruined. I mean, I would have never watched it anyway. And John Lassie out of Lost.
Yes, and Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan's in it at the end.
Is it? Fuck, is he flying the plane?
No, he's a pure bastard sitting in the office.
No, okay.
Oh, brilliant. But aye, that's what you could have won.
Okay, I think we did all right out of it. We did all right.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you want to vote for one of our films, we do it once a month, kind of. Then you can do so, and you'll get a shout out at the end of every episode as well. Just give us £1 a month. And you'll get a minimum 2 episodes and a few bits and pieces on patreon.com/100 things. That's the good stuff that we do. If you want to find all the socials and things, just go to www. It still says www. Fucking hell. What is it? 1992? What's going on? So you can go
HTTP: //
www 100 things we learned from film. Number 100. Anyway, .co.uk, and you'll see all of our fucking links to all the stuff that we did. Right. We opened this one, Universal Studios and Illumination, which is the way that we have to say Illumination now. Now, this is the first time we ever see a minion.
Yes.
Now, this is the first instance of a minion existing. Mm-hmm. And in the last 13 years, they have become probably the bane of everybody's fucking life.
Everywhere, Sky, everything that's just...
If you've got kids, I assume you hate minions, right, listeners? Mm-hmm. But if you're on Facebook with any middle-aged women, and I'm not being sexist here, but it always seems to be on my Facebook, middle-aged women that share these memes, and it's got a minion, and it says, "If you don't love me at my best," and all this kind of, what is going on? And and minions farting and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's basically the Thomas Shelby for women, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Aye, God, aye.
Yeah. Anyway, 2 tickets to that new Thomas Shelby film, please. Right. Illumination, right?
Yep.
Started by Chris Meledandri in 2007 when he left Blue Sky. Now, do you know what Blue Sky did, John?
Did they do Ice Age?
Yeah, that really, really profitable Ice Age studio that Disney just went, nah, we don't want that.
I know.
Fox just shut the whole thing down one day.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Astonishing to me that. I guess Disney are doing all right, but I mean, surely you want to keep those guys on for something.
It had its own look as well. It was different, like when it first came out. Everything looked different, but now everything's just going to look exactly the fucking same.
Those Ice Age movies, they're not too bad. They're pretty fun. Yeah.
I hate Raymond, right? And everybody should hate Raymond, rightfully, but I thought he was quite good in this as the woolly mammoth.
Raymond, you're a woolly mammoth, Raymond. Anyway, I think they're cute. This is their big series as far as series goes, the Despicable Me thing. But the biggest box office of any animated film of all time, John, is also theirs. Do you know what it is?
Is that dinosaur one?
Not Walt Disney's Dinosaur.
No, The Land Before Time, surely.
Oh, Ducky. Oh no.
I don't.
No, it's none of those, John. It's this year's The Super Mario Brothers movie.
Piss off.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It broke all box office records. So Chris Pratt wasn't able to ruin it that much. So they've produced 13 feature films with an average gross of 7 111.4 million per film.
Nice
Which
round
is
number.
pretty good going. Yeah.
Yep.
The highest grossing films are The Super Mario Brothers, $1.339 billion.
Jesus.
Minions, which is the Despicable Me film I haven't seen. I haven't seen that new Gru one either, the little baby Gru. Minions, 1.159 billion. Despicable Me 3, 1.034 billion. And all three films are among the highest 50 grossing films of all time.
Jesus.
It's astonishing, isn't it?
They're not having a bad day.
Very good. 8 of their films are among the 50 highest grossing animated films.
Fuck, that is 50th.
It is 50th. Okay. We start with this bloke herding goats in Egypt.
Yep.
We see the pyramids and a bus full of American tourists turn up. Did you catch what was playing on the radio?
Sweet Home Alabama for 1974, big man.
Oh, very good. Yeah, okay. I hope you didn't get too many more facts because they'll be wasted because we did it on Con Air.
No, that's all I got.
So I'll let you have that one then. Con Air episode features that quite heavily. And something else we did semi-recently, I remember going, Con Air. While the mum's taking pictures of the dad, he's like, "Hey, look, honey, I'm holding up the pyramids." That was kind of good. This fat kid slips his leash.
I know, you see, we had these. This is the thing that annoyed me. Every time I think about this, I keep thinking it's Sid from Toy Story because he's wearing the skull.
Because he's got the. Yeah, I thought so as well.
Yeah, but that's a misconception because Sid's only got a skull. He doesn't have the crossbones.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Fucking Toy Story nerd.
Whatever. Whatevs.
He runs up this rickety support and falls into the pyramid. And what happens?
It deflates.
It does. The Great Pyramid of Giza has been stolen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, poor Giza.
What Giza facts you got for us? I know you've got some.
The Great Pyramid of Giza is the largest Giza, Ebenezer Giza, of the pyramids, and the resting place of Pharaoh Khufu, who I think played for Portsmouth and Borough. He's the oldest of the 7 wonders of the world, and it's 454 feet high and is estimated to weigh 6 ton.
What?
6 ton.
6 ton?
No, 6 million ton, because I can't read.
I was like, what the? Even that,
6 ton. It's inflatable, isn't it?
Even on that zero alcohol beer. Aye, true. Aye.
It's inflatable. That's all it weighs. How much can canvas weigh, John? Come on, fuck's sake.
Any more?
No, that's it. That's it.
So I've got, it was estimated about 1,200 years before King Tut. It was built by the Egyptian people themselves, not like the Great Wall of China. It was built by prisoners, apparently. And apparently there used to be an invisible door. How they knew it was an invisible door, I'll never know. And all the chambers are empty as well, apparently.
All right, okay. They weren't before the Brits got there.
Exactly. and the invisible door is only invisible if you don't look at it.
Drag the invisible boy.
Yeah.
I've got here fat Americans. The average weight of a US adult male is 181 pounds, whereas the average weight, John, of a British adult male is 188 pounds.
Oh.
So we really should stop carrying on with that nonsense about Americans being fat.
Yes.
I mean, we will keep going on about them voting for fucking idiots.
Oh, yeah.
In the wrong people.
That's a choice.
Because we never do that over here.
Oh, no.
Yeesh, yeah. Inflatable pyramid, John. 3 meters by 3 meters by 2.5 meters inflatable pyramid for sale on Alibaba.com.
No way.
$150.
Jesus.
Hey, Ma, look. I'm the Pharaoh. I don't know. You mentioned the Great Wall, John. We learned that countries decide to protect the Eiffel Tower, the Great Wall, and the Big Beer.
Yeah, I've seen the Big Beer. I've no facts on the Big Beer, though.
The Big Beer, John, sadly, is not real.
Oh.
The Great Wall of China is real, and obviously you gave us a fact already. In Mandarin, Wan Li Chang Chen, which translates as 10,000 long wall. It's actually 13,000 miles long.
What?
Yeah, I hope some prisoners were murdered for that blunder. Something. I don't know.
So I've got, it took over 2,000 years to construct a wall. It's not actually a wall, it's just a series of walls with fortifications on them.
So it's not
And
a wall; it's a series of
it's a
walls.
series of walls.
Okay.
It's a house. And various materials were
To
used to
me.
build the Great Wall, including rice.
All right. Okay.
There you go.
Did it just drench it wet through, and it just
Just let it dry.
expanded? That's fantastic. What the rice wall.
Rice.
So, John, the beer's not real. With that in mind, let's do a little quiz. All right,
Okay.
you'll like this, John, because it's about US attractions. All
Okay.
right? So you're gonna have to tell me if they're real or not. So if they're real, they're a tourist attraction. And if they're not, they're a tourist trap.
Well, I've watched Michael, the John Travolta Angel thing, and they went about all these American big sites,
Right,
the big ball of things.
okay.
I
You
should
might
be
get
good
some.
at this.
Okay, what was that one?
Michael, it was called, wasn't it?
No, I'm aware of the film. What was the one that you just mentioned?
Oh, the big ball of twine.
All right, okay. So number one, John, the world's largest ball of twine.
True.
Yeah, it's an attraction, and it's in Kansas. Carry on, my wayward son. Number two, Carhenge.
Yes.
It is real, John. It's a replica of Stonehenge, but made out of cars in Nebraska.
I think I've seen a picture of that.
Number three, Ben and Jerry's Flavor Graveyard.
False.
John, it's an attraction.
Oh, what?
They actually have funerals for flavors that they don't make anymore.
Oh, just
it's in Vermont.
Oh.
And finally, number four, the Toilet Seat Art Museum.
Well, they've got a urinal one, haven't they? So they might have a toilet seat.
They've got a urinal one, have they?
Yeah, well, so the push.
It's an attraction, John, in Texas.
Ooh.
Because apparently, well done. You got three out of four.
Look at me go.
And of course, we got a little bonus one for each of those because I said where they were. There's a fact for you. Anyway, we meet Gru, Steve Carell. Now, Steve Carell's a funny. I mean, I really do think he's a funny one. Mm-hmm. Steve Carell's got a really weird career. He kind of does like two for the studio and one for him. And every one for him that he does is fucking dog shit.
No, I know.
In Real Life is one of the most depressing films I've ever watched.
Stop it. Just stop it.
And he was miserable. I guess he was very, very sad because his partner had killed himself in Little Miss Sunshine. Little Miss Sunshine's a great fucking film.
That's great. Yeah.
Possibly really a future episode.
It's a bit bleak though, isn't it?
It is, well, but it's funny as well.
Yeah, true.
It's so funny. It's got a great cast. Yeah. Anyway, Steve Carell, probably this is what gave him his golden toilet museum.
His golden ticket.
This is where he gets his annex on his house every 5 years when he makes one of these. He sees a kid with a dropped ice cream crying, and to cheer him up, he makes a balloon animal and then pops it.
Funny.
Because
always funny.
He's a bit of a cunt.
Yep.
He freezes everyone in the queue for his coffee shop to get served. And I love how when he does something, he says it. And I wanted to adopt this for years. He does freeze Ray, but I realised it would probably end up with me getting punched.
Yeah, because I'd hear for you 2 fingers.
Yeah. Farting. Freeze rays, John, they are not science fiction. According to the Embry-Riddle... what is wrong? I cannot say a fucking thing today. Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. A carefully tuned laser can chill an object by dampening its molecular vibrations, causing the object to shed energy as fluorescent light. The laser works the same as a freeze ray in science fictions, which makes an object to quickly decrease in temperature. There you go.
Nice.
I also think carefully tuned laser is one of the instruments on tubular bells.
Aye, it really is.
Balloon modelling, John. If you want to get a book, I looked it up. Beginner Balloon Twister 1 and 2, which I think might be arse porn. I'm not sure.
I knew you were going to come with that.
It's apparently
Balloon Twister. As soon as you said that, I thought it was going to be a joke here.
It's apparently a book by Fairy Lily Lou, who I think is also in porn with a name like that.
Really?
£2.65 on the old Kindles. Or if you want to do it professionally, John, you can do an online course for £100 with the New Skills Academy.
Man,
Who's got 100? Who's got a? You must take somebody very, very special to go. I'm going to put on clown makeup, do balloons at a kid's party, get covered in fucking sick, and kicked up the arse,
and get laughed at for making dodgy crowns.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it in me.
Nah.
I debase myself weekly on this fucking thing.
Having to
put
makeup on and do it in front of kids.
Shamon.
Motherfucker.
His house is like the Munsters and he drives a rocket car. His neighbour Fred is normal because all the houses around him is normal. He's like, "Hello, Fred. Your dog has been leaving little bombs all over my yard." He's like, "Yeah, it's dogs. They go where they want." He goes, "They do, unless they're dead." It's kind of like, what?
I know.
I'm joking, but it's true. It's kind of fucking hell.
That was some size of car. I looked at it. It's trying to obviously park. It shows like road parking. So I had a thought. I was like, "What is the largest car you can get?"
Okay.
So I looked this up. So the biggest vehicle you can get is obviously a Cadillac called the American Dream. It originally measured 60 feet and it rolled on 26 wheels. It literally was made up of like 3 massive sections.
Is it that car that guy drives into Homer's Drive? Where he just parking.
Could be.
That guy.
Oh man, I looked at a picture of that thing, man. It's absolutely massive in comparison. It's maybe triple the size of a normal Cadillac.
Is it disgusting? Is it
it's
completely
disgusting.
unnecessary?
It's got 3 sets of wheels and at the end and in the middle, and it just looks disgusting.
Is it the most American thing you've ever seen?
No, it never had a swimming pool in it, which I was quite annoyed about.
I put this full of bath salts. I'm going to get it over to the old folks' home. Threatening to kill a neighbour's dog, John. In Australia, it's a crime. What? Maximum 5 years in prison for intimidation.
God.
So I guess that's one thing the Australians have got right.
True that.
He's just sitting down to eat his muffin, and he's got this dog, right? This horrible looking thing called Hill. And there's a line later on. What kind of dog is that? I don't know.
Just all teeth in here.
He's scared of that. He's about to eat his muffin. The door goes. 3 girls selling cookies. He pretends to be a recorded message. This is a recording. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Of course, John, the first thing I thought of when there's girls knocking at the door selling cookies.
Oh, well, it is girls.
We will do that one day.
We'll
do that as an episode one day.
We need to do it.
He goes back, and the dog's eating his muffin. They have this little battle before he gets a call off. Dr. Nefario, his henchman. This old English bloke, right?
Yeah.
Anything on Dr. Nefario, John? Anything at all?
Just the fact that he's a mad shagger, or was it at the time, wasn't he?
He was a mad shagger.
It just reminds me of the Doctor at Futurama, the look.
Oh, he does, yeah. He does indeed.
Big glasses, white coat, bald.
Yeah.
Oh, most dangerous dog breeds. I was looking that up because I was looking at that stupid bloody dog thing. So I was looking at the most dangerous dog breeds of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, or just there's 5 or 6. Number 2 is Rottweiler.
Yeah.
Can you guess what number 1 is?
Pitbull.
That's it, Pitbull.
Mr. Worldwide dog.
It's not that. I think they just get a bad rep. I think the dog just is like
it's the type of people that have one. Maybe.
Yeah. It's a shame. I feel sorry for that poor dogs.
Where were Yorkshire Terriers? Just out of interest.
3.
Oh, pretty nasty bastards.
They can be.
Give you a nasty nip. The Oxford Dictionary defines the word nefarious as wicked or criminal act. Russell Brand, conspiracy wanker today, anti-vaxxer, 9/11, all that kind of stuff. Steer well clear of him. Of course, released a memoir called what, John?
Was it No Some Root Shagging?
No, My Bookie Wook.
Oh, God, right.
My bookie book. It won Biography of the Year at the British Book Awards 2008, but Private Eye called it dismal and masturbatory. It's a fucking great name for a band.
Nice.
It sold 600,000
Oh,
copies,
God.
and today can be found in all good landfills.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a bad brand.
Indeed, it's the worst brand. So Gru assembles the Minions, and they're the main comic relief of the film, but I laughed less at the Minions than I did at all the human stuff in it. Like, there was nothing in the Minions that I kind of went, like, ha ha ha! There was a couple of bits where, ha! Yeah, it's kind of funny. But all the human stuff is the funny stuff, I think.
It's the names. I just like them when he's calling the names.
Like Tom and Mark and Jeff.
The three main ones that I know in the films is Kevin, Stuart, and Bob.
Right.
I didn't know this, but I just like the fact that they give them human names. It just
I like that. What I do like is that he knows them all by name.
Yeah, that's quite good.
And he's asking about their families and everything. And I just think that he's actually not a bad boss.
That's a sign of a good leader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sign of a good leader.
Yeah.
Even if Smithers is standing beside you, holding out cue cards to tell you the names of your employees.
Zangief is bad guy, but he is not bad guy. Again, better animated movie than this. That one.
Oh, it's good.
We should have done that one. It's got loads of references.
Anyway, video game affinity.
They arrive at this massive event of his, and he explains that they've had a good year. They stole the Jumbotron from Times Square.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The Statue of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower. I've heard the Vegas ones.
From Vegas, yeah.
The Times Square Jumbotron, John. I learned that you can watch Times Square live online.
Oh, really?
I'm obsessed with it. In fact, I've got it open in a window in the background right now, and there's just people milling about. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
I'm going to have a look.
The screen is on one Times Square building, which is one of the most expensive advertising locations in the world because of the number of screens it's got.
Jesus. Yeah, they've got loads of them now, haven't they? They're all wrapped everywhere.
Yeah, it's like Piccadilly Circus. Yeah, which, sadly there's no clowns. Thankfully there's no fucking clowns. Vegas Statue of Liberty, it's half the size of the Statue of Liberty in New York, and it is at the New York Hotel in Vegas, not in New York.
Yep. There's another one. There's another one in Paris.
Oh, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've got a picture of it.
Oh, right. Wow.
They've got a miniature one, just maybe about half a mile from the Eiffel Tower.
Nice. I'm going to blow your mind here, John. There are 11 of them in France.
What?
Yeah, and there are replicas in Canada, Austria, Ireland, Spain, Kosovo. Where, John?
Netherlands?
Correct.
Oh, no way.
And there's even one in Leicester. Boo.
God,
Boo,
is it made of cheese?
But it used to be on top of an old shoe factory.
Wow.
Till they knocked the shoe factory down and moved it to a park, apparently.
Nice.
Should have bulldozed the rest of the city, my opinion. Anyway, the Eiffel Tower in Vegas, John, is on the roof of the Paris Las Vegas Hotel. $27 to go up in the lift, which I think is roughly about the same price as the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
As the Blackpool Tower as well. The French one, the real Eiffel Tower, John, is nicknamed La Dame de Fer, or the Iron Lady, which is the only Iron Lady I want to think about.
Yeah. Well, there's an Iron Maiden in this as well, but we'll talk about that later.
Anyway.
I walked up the Eiffel Tower all the way up. Me and Kristen were going through our gym phase. We walked all the way up.
Oh, that's not bad. Did you see Roger Daltrey up there?
No, but I seen what's his name for Vacation, just driving round and round at the front. What's his name?
I said Roger Daltrey. I obviously meant Timothy Dalton. I don't know why. There's something. Listeners, just to peek behind the curtain, I've not been well this week at all, and I cannot seem to put together fucking anything. Obviously,
Griswold, isn't it? Oh man, I'm the same. Clark Griswold.
There you go. Arc de Triomphe, Eiffel Tower. There's a film here somewhere. his new plan, John, is to steal what?
Namu, la
Correct.
luna.
But he's got to do one thing first. He's got to nick a shrimp, right?
And to get it right.
Yeah.
Get
It's going to be the crime of the century, he claims. Dr. Nefario explains they can't afford it, so Gru heads to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
The girls go home to Miss Hattie's home for girls.
Yeah.
Now, here's a piece of shit if ever there was one.
Oh, there really is, isn't it?
Yeah. Miss Hattie, because they're orphans, she keeps telling them that they're never going to be adopted. They didn't make their quota in cookies, and because she's some Dickensian workhouse owner, she threatens them with having to live in the box of shame.
No.
Which I thought was... And I was kind of like, this is awful. Thank fuck this isn't real.
Yeah. Kristen Wiig voicing as well, and she's a love interest in the next couple, isn't she?
Yeah, that's... I did think to myself, I thought she was in those next ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a love interest.
There are 8,708 orphanages and group homes in the USA as of this year, 2023.
God, that's a lot.
Right. Now, thank fuck this wasn't a real look at how orphanages work in the US.
Yeah.
Except the report I read is that group homes are a business. They are franchised out. Orphanages for business. Come on, Sunak. You gotta get on that.
I know.
You can be paid by a company to starve kids, mate. Get on that, because that is right. Prison barges for fucking people fleeing war-torn countries and starving orphans and getting paid for it. Maybe you can drop the interest rate for all those fucking losers down here at the bottom of the ladder. You fucking freak. Anyway.
Because I was looking at that, because I was like, man, he's going to, because the adoption, looking at every time you see like orphanages in American films, they're just so bleak, aren't they?
It's like fucking Oliver, isn't it?
They always just portray it to be this
Dickensian workhouse, yeah.
Then you see Curly Sue and go, no, they're all right.
Curly Sue got a reference the other day. Me and Rachel were playing the box office game, which listeners, if you don't play the box office game, it's a great fun game. Just Google box office game, and every day it's a different top 5 of the box office from a year, and you have to guess from like the tagline or the actors or whatever, and you get points based on how few clues you have. And Curly Sue was one of them. Curly Sue, fucking hell. And it kind of dislodged something in Rachel's brain that she hadn't thought of for like 30 years.
Oh, God, because people that liked it really, really liked it, didn't they?
Yeah, my sisters liked it. I think it's one of those I've kind of seen in the background when I've kind of been just living my life. I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's like that Romeo and Juliet one you're talking about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, don't.
Like women love it. Women love it.
No, but I know men that do as well. It just.
Yeah, you want to tell me?
No,
Leonardo,
get fucking fucked, man.
Oh, you poisonous kiss.
Oh. Perhaps some poison does still lay on his lips. Love me, say that you love me. Perfect.
Oh, that's fantastic. Miss you, Timothy Dalton. As James Bond.
As the lead singer of The Who. What? The living daylights. Gru's mum calls to congratulate him on stealing the pyramid. Who was this, John?
Julie Andrews?
Yeah. Mary fucking Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Go blimey, Gru's mum. Basically, she must have just been driven in to fucking Pinewood, put in a box, read 9 lines, and then go. Like Krusty the Clown, you know, when he's reading the lines, he says, I can't stay, I'm going to Wimbledon. And he reads the lines to the doll, and they haven't even started recording yet. But yeah, she's not proud that it was not him that stole the pyramids. Yeah. Sounds very familiar. But he plans to make her proud. It is, of course, an evil bank that bankrolls villains, John.
Oh, yeah.
It says Bank of Evil, formerly Lehman Brothers, which that gave me a giggle. Lehman Brothers was the 4th biggest bank in the US until 2008, when it went...
What?
Circled the drain.
And nobody saved it?
No, because it's not the fucking UK. Do you know what I mean?
True
Nobody
that.
saved it and then gave it for free to fucking Richard Branson. Does
Mm.
that sound familiar, listeners? It started as a dry goods store in 1847 by two of the three Lehman brothers in Alabama and traded in cotton from slave plantations. So I would argue deserved to go down the fucking poop chute long before 2008.
Again.
Grew sat there reading
His plans for the moon.
blueprints. Like, you don't see blueprints.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, the last time I seen blueprints in a film was Mallrats. You know, when Jay and Silent Bob have made the blueprints. Blueprinting paper, which is white, is placed in a solution of potassium ferrocyanide, and the compound reacts with ammonium ferrous citrate and forms a compound called Prussian blue. This compound in its hydrated form is blue. I don't know why, but that's what they do.
Cool.
The internet tells me that's what it does. So that's sucking blueprints. Don't ask me any science questions, listeners, because I don't fucking know.
Don't care.
I don't even know Roger Daltrey's name. He remembers back to the moon landing. He's watching the moon landing as a little boy. And he says to his mum he wants to go to the moon. She says, "You're too late. They aren't sending monkeys anymore." And it's kind of funny. Moon landings, John. 12 men have landed on the moon. The last being Apollo 17 in 1972. And when did NASA stop sending monkeys into space? I asked the internet. And the internet replied with, 1961 was the first NASA flight that blasted a chimp into space. He was called Ham.
No way.
And the last monkeys NASA sent into space were called 3165 and 38480 in 1985. Oof. You're murdering living creatures. Give them fucking names, for fuck's sake. But also, John, why must films lie to us? Why? Little Monkey Gru could have gone into space.
He could have.
They could have changed his name to 72598. LV178 or whatever, you know. It's been fine. This fucking mum. What a bad mum. What a bad mum she is, isn't she? Yeah?
Horrible.
We meet Vector, right? And I remember from going to the cinema to watch this, I remember thinking, Vector's a shit villain. I don't like Vector. And then the first time I watched it this week, I was like, yeah, I fucking hate Vector. He's really annoying. And then today I watched it again and I went, I fucking really quite like Vector. I like his samey catchphrases and his samey weapons and the fact that everything's just fucking stupid.
I know.
I really like Vector.
I like his name.
Gun. Have you seen one of those before? No, because I invented it.
And his frozen head bit made me laugh.
It's pretty good. That's your man Jason Segel, who I think the one thing I've really, really enjoyed him in was that Muppets movie.
Aye, yeah.
The Sarah Marshall thing, that's got
him and Russell Brand as well.
Yeah, that's okay. And I have seen that I Love You Man. That keeps coming up and I keep thinking of recommending that as an episode.
I like it. I've got a lot of time for slapping the bass. The only thing I didn't like him in was that fucking Gulliver's Travels. I felt as if it was a waste of fucking time.
The Jack Black one.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Didn't dating.
Never seen it. But yeah, he's brilliant in that Muppets movie. And I think, you know, at the very, very beginning or the very end of that Sarah Marshall film, he's written a Dracula musical.
Oh, I love that Dracula.
I'm pretty certain that must have been him going, I've got an idea for a Muppets film, and this is how I'm going to get Disney to notice me.
Notice me, I totally agree. And it was brilliant. That is the
proper backdoor pilot, yeah. Never seen a second of that How I Met Your Mother. Never going to watch a second of it. It does not look like it's for me.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of them, but it's just stepping in and just looking, they look all exactly the same. I can't get on board with any of the characters apart from Barney.
But again, he doesn't out for me as a character. He's a dick. You know, I want a protagonist that I can get behind, not just a fucking...
Like Vector.
I fucking love Vector. Thanks for bringing us back, John. Vector, John, Oxford Dictionary does it much better than Vector himself in defining it. A quantity having direction as well as magnitude, especially as determine the position of one point in space relative to another. And what he gets at is the fact that I can go from one point to another. Yeah, and he's great fun. The bank manager says he won't give Gru any money until he has the shrink ray. We've invested in you many times with no return. The bank manager likes Vector, though, because he stole the pyramid, he tells Gru. He explains, once he has the shrink ray, though, they'll talk about the investment. So Gru heads off, he's furious, and he freezes Vector's head, doesn't he?
Yep.
The piranha. By the way, piranha facts, this is not doing. It keeps coming up, piranhas in films, but we did them in that piranha film. So go back and find that. That's a pretty good episode, I think. Gru heads off with the minions in his plane to some pretty racially insensitive Asian lab.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like, how did you get away with this in 2010? Where they're shrinking what?
Elephant.
An elephant. This elephant. And this little tiny elephant goes around like this little tiny kind of trumpet noise. I love it. It's great. The minions kind of come in through the roof, grab the laser. And the whole thing is you don't know what the minions are saying. Allegedly, there is a Minionese dictionary. They claimed when they wrote the film initially. I don't know how true it is. I couldn't find any copies of it, so I'm sure it doesn't exist. But there's this bit where one of them quite blatantly goes, "So long, suckers!" And then the thing goes up and he smacks him on the ceiling. And he has to do it again. Again, "So long, suckers" is always good in my eyes. They're flying away. Vector comes along, cuts a hole in the hull and grabs it. Gru and the minions make chase, but Vector shrinks the plane. "Try this on for size." Okay. This shrinking plane is how I expect that stupid billionaire's submarine imploded, by the way.
Yep. Bye.
See, Homer, that's why your homemade submarine killed rich lads. And a line I say a lot from Gru here, I hate that guy. That night, the girls are praying that they'll get adopted by nice parents. And Agnes has this song about unicorns. Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them. And she just keeps going. And it's kind of such a little girl thing, isn't it? It's like, stop. Just stop.
Just stop.
Just
Please stop.
Next day at Vector's lair, he's playing video games and Gru's spying on him in this cultural appropriation and a half rest outfit.
With a Scotty dog.
What's that? And the circular glasses.
Yeah, it's quite funny, actually.
I mean, it is and it isn't. But there's nobody else in the world the shape of him.
Oh, I know.
So it couldn't possibly be anybody else. Unless the rest of the whalers have let themselves go a bit. I don't know. He tries a variety of ways to get in, but they're all foiled. It's a great bad guy lair.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems to be in this residential area where I think it would never get building permission.
But I love the way they've got the Pyramid of Giza in the background, painted blue.
I only spotted that in the scene where he uses it later on.
I didn't
really? Spot that until then. Yeah, it's got, like the clouds painted on it.
Yeah, that's quite good.
The girls show up, and Vector lets them in because they're selling cookies, and he loves cookies. Gru has this daydream of the girls getting him his ray, just like dancing out with it.
Yeah.
It sounds. He calls Dr. Nefario and says, "I need a dozen cookie robots." And he's like, "What? Cookie robots?" And he's like, "Who is this?" He's like, "Oh, I hate you." It's brilliant. Later, Gru adopts the girls. By the way, his CV, the Minions have made, he's got the Medal of Honor and a knighthood, both of which we've done.
Right.
And he can hold his breath for 30 seconds, which she goes, which it's not that impressive.
I looked at world record for that. Do you know what a world record is?
35 seconds.
No, 24 minutes and 37 seconds.
Piss off!
Aye, apparently it's a professional breathe hold diver, Badimir Subat.
Get out! That can't be true.
That's
like your man in the box above the Thames for a month, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Shazam.
we want it,
It's
don't
not real.
we?
It can't be real. Has he got gills?
This, they're multiplying.
Fucking hell. Yes, indeed. He's wearing this brilliant 50s dentist outfit. He looks like the doctor that does all the nasty surgery in BioShock.
Oh
You
yeah,
really got much of that feeling. He says she's beautiful and she has a face como un burro. She's like, do I look like I speak Spanish?
that is no.
And it charms her. She's into that. The girls look scared, except Agnes, who won't let go of Gru's leg. At Vectors, he's posing with the shrink ray. He's really annoying. The phone rings. Are you playing with it? I'm not playing with it. He shrinks down this toilet and it explodes on him, and that's the curse you, tiny toilet.
That's
I
it.
did at the top of the show.
Just so the listeners know, it takes more than half an hour to adopt a kid in America.
Oh, does it? Right.
It literally
Okay.
only took half an hour because it can take up to 2 years.
Okay.
Depending. This one says in a private, so it must be like if you know the family. So I don't
By
know if
then, though, I guess those kids aren't cute anymore. So
yeah, the
like by then they could be like spotty, ugly, and fucking stinking.
God, aye.
I would want it. Could you get me? Could I trade it in? Could I trade it in for a cuter one, please?
Have anybody seen The Orphan?
Oh yeah, yeah. I love your daddy. All right, fucking Borat, give it a rest. Jesus Christ,
That was a good one. You caught me.
They're
Caught me
all
off
good
guard with that
ones,
one.
John.
You caught me off guard with that one.
You don't always listen. That's the problem.
Fucking day.
At Gru's house, it's not very kid friendly. The line is, when we got adopted by a bald guy, I thought it would be more like Annie.
Like Annie. That was good as well.
The bald guy in Annie is Daddy Warbox.
Yep.
But, and my fact of the episode is, not only is he in the Annie comic strips from the 20s, but he's also in the Dick Tracy comic strips.
What?
So I guess he's part of the Annie Tracy universe.
Who played him in the film? The film?
Oh, it's good you should ask that, John. Played by National Treasure Albert Finney.
Yeah, boy.
In that one.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Professional bad guy actor Victor Garber in a 2019 version.
All right, Garber.
Just about alive Jamie Foxx, ? In that remake one.
Aye.
And poor man Sinatra, Harry Connick Jr. in a TV version from 2 years ago.
Hey, greatest all-time villain, Hannibal Lecter. Just so that I throw that in there because I actually thought it was Brian Cox. I thought it was Brian Cox that played Daddy Warbucks.
Oh, did you?
Aye. So I'm looking at Brian Cox, going, oh, almost, and I'm like, oh god, that's a totally wrong person. But I just looked up the greatest villain of all time.
Albert Finney, Brian Cox, both two old fat actors. So you could have that.
Yeah, no, I feel bad about it.
In the words of Brian Cox, fuck off. Yeah, it's not a great place for these kids to be living. They meet Kyle, who is scared of Agnes, which is fun. Margot gets herself trapped in the aforementioned Iron Maiden, John.
Yeah.
It looks like there's blood seeping out of it, but it's just a juice carton that's been punctured.
Just I don't know why I had Sleepy Hollow on my head there.
Oh yeah.
Really hot mum for some reason.
Yeah. Iron Maidens, John, date back to around 200 BC. There's proof of them being used by the Spartan leader Nabis.
Ooh.
This is Nabis. Gru sets the girls down in the kitchen with a newspaper to pee and poop on.
Pee and poo.
And water and sweets in dog bowls. Bye, I'll see you in 6 hours. Okay. In the lab, Dr. Nefario has these robots dancing.
Oh, that's so funny.
To Boogie Fever, which is great. It's fantastic. And he's going, that's great, but why? And he's like, it's boogie robots. They're boogieing. And he says, I got you a dozen boogie robots. He says, I said cookie robots. Cook a dozen cookie robots. And as he's walking away, why are you so old? That was the bit that really got. Why are you so old? Yeah. Boogie Fever by the Sylvias, John, or the Sylvias. I think it's meant to be Silvers, but it's spelt differently. 1975 song, number 1 in the US, number 4 in New Zealand, present, and number 7 in Australia.
Well, 75. What a year! What a year!
It was a fine year, John.
Right.
We will celebrate your 100th birthday very soon.
Why are you so old?
Why are you so old, John? The girls locate the entrance to the lab, and Dr. Nefario is showing Gru a lighter-than-air serum. He gives it to a minion, and he floats off and out of the window. And he says, "Oh, I meant to close that." When will it wear off? I don't know. Probably at some point. I'm sure he'll be okay. Now, story about when I went to see this. I went to see this at the cinema. Weekend of release, as I recall, with friend and patron Ian McComish. Hi, Ian. And at that very point, Ian has quite a laugh. Let's say Ian has quite a loud, but not quite as deep a laugh as mine. I'm trying not to be mean here because I don't mean it to be mean. It's just Ian's laugh. When anybody goes to the cinema with me and I'm laughing, I assume that's how they feel. Yeah, so, it's about time I got taste moments.
Tissue medicine,
yeah, especially the time that I laughed my guts out watching Paddington with Rachel and Rachel's niece, who would have been maybe about 8 or 9 at the time.
Scarred for life, man.
Yeah, I was laughing so hard at Paddington. I can't remember what I was laughing at, but I was. So that's again what Ian and I were doing going to see this opening weekend. I have no idea, but we did.
Why not?
Dr. Nefario makes Gru a fart gun when what Gru wanted was
a dart gun.
A dart gun. He did make cookie robots in the end, though. The girls are messing around on all the weapons. Margot melts Agnes's unicorn teddy. So Gru sends the minions to the supermarket to get a new one. Now, this is probably one of the only bits where I thought the minions were particularly funny. One finds a vibrating massage chair. He's got this hat on and this moustache. He's like the dad. There's like a dad and a mum and a baby, isn't there?
Aye.
The other... Yes, very much so, yeah. The other finds a screen and karaoke, singing Copacabana, which I was kind of like, okay, yeah. Oh, Copa Banana.
Yes.
And that became the thing for Minions, wasn't it? Bananas. I don't know why. Because it's funny for them to say in that voice. Copacabana, of course, by Barry Manilow. 1978 hit, gold in the United States, silver over here, second in France, fifth on the Stupid Sexy Flanders Ultra Pop, and John's seventh where?
The Netherlands?
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Inspired by a meeting at the Copacabana Hotel with his manager in Rio. That same hotel opened in 1923. Gru refuses to read the girls a bedtime story, and the minions show up with a toilet brush with googly eyes and an ice cream cone for a horn. Fuck knows what they were doing. Next day, the girls don't want to go deliver cookies because they've got dance class. This is where he agrees to go to the dance recital later in the week.
Mm-hmm.
The girls deliver the cookies and the cookie robots. Agnes asks why Vector is wearing pajamas. This is a warm-up suit. What are you warming up for? Sleeping? Yes. Yeah. I thought the warm-up suit he was wearing looked like what Dr. Venture wears in Venture Brothers. Very much so. The robots turn all the security off, and Gru and the minions make it into the vault and escape through the vents with the shrink ray till they fall out of a vent above Vector hanging there. Now, he's just watching TV. He's got this popcorn. But underneath this glass floor, he's got like a great shark. White shark, right. Hasn't he?
Yeah.
What is that even about? And the shark sees them and keeps kind of headbutting against the thing. And I was kind of like, okay, yeah.
No, but every supervillain should have a shark, though.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Or angry sea bass with lasers.
That's right.
Lasers. Vector basically keeps getting distracted by it headbutting for them to escape. There are no great white sharks kept in captivity, John, mainly because they're migratory, which I learnt from Jaws the Revenge. I also learnt sharks have the concept of revenge from that film, which is probably not true.
Revenge, yep.
And they like to eat seaplanes.
Best
Bloody
served,
hell!
best served cold-blooded.
On the way back to the lair, the girls see this theme park and make Gru take them.
Yep.
They go on the roller coaster, and then Agnes sees a massive unicorn teddy, and it's the classic line of "He's so fluffy, I could die." They have a go at knocking down the UFO on the game, but in spite of hitting it, the thing doesn't fall.
Yep.
Yeah, classic carnies in it.
Yeah, carnies.
Small hands smell faintly of cabbage.
That's right.
The guy in the game explains like a dick to Gru. He says, "Oh, well, Professor, it needs to be knocked over." So Gru obliterates it with this laser gun. He goes, "Knocked over," which I like. Mm-hmm. The girls are impressed. When they get home, Dr. Nefario isn't happy. They've only got 12 days till the moon is in optimum position. Gru, you mustn't be distracted.
Yeah. You can tell that you start to warm to the kids.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. Unicorns, John, the national animal of which country?
Scotland.
Absolutely. Not real. So I'll have to claim Scotland in the name of the English.
No, Scotland is real. Scotland is real.
Well, if your animal's not real, neither's your country. So I'm gonna claim it in the name of Carlisle. There you go. you know the Greater Carlisle area. At least that's one way for us to get the Tories out of it. Come on. Gru calls Perkins at the bank to show him the shrink ray. He shows his plan on a flip chart, but the girls have drawn him on the loo in one of the flip charts.
Oh, that's funny.
They grab the shrink ray, they grab the freeze ray and freeze him, and he's walking around. But specifically, his arse was out of this. Yeah. I don't really know why that was. Maybe that was something we missed. Perkins explains he loves everything about the plan except for
the toilet.
The person on the toilet. He doesn't like Gru.
Yeah.
We flash back to little Gru showing his mum the plans for the rocket. And she's like, meh. Followed by the scale model. Meh. And then the actual rocket, which she goes, ooh, meh.
That was funny.
Perkins explains they're putting their money into a younger villain. Gru talks to the minions, explaining the bank aren't going to fund them any further, that they won't get to the moon because they're broke. He gives them the opportunity to find other jobs. The girls show up with their piggy bank and help him, and then the minions start giving whatever money they have and trading in all sorts of, I don't know, like a pinball machine and all this kind of stuff. It's basically like the end of It's a Wonderful Life, except I'm not crying.
Yeah.
It's not Christmas.
It's in colour.
Yeah. We get a rocket building montage to the third fucking Pharrell Williams song.
Yeah, well, him and Hans Zimmer done the music for it.
Yeah, none of them, though, are as annoying as that fucking happy song from the second film. Oh, man, I hate that. Piggy banks, John, according to Paragon Bank's website, the invention of the piggy bank originates to over 600 years ago in the 15th century, when people would use pots to store what money they had. At that time, metal was an expensive commodity and not frequently used for household equipment.
Ooh.
Thanks, 70s ska band The Paragons Bank. Possibly not related. And a reference for nobody. Mum arrives and shows the girls photos of Gru as a baby. And there's like, at some point she goes, yes, he was a terribly ugly baby. Fucking hell.
Oh, fucking horror,
I don't even want to watch this kind of the rise of Gru, because it's obviously his mum just being a bitch the whole way through.
Aye, totally. This is what we'll be about.
The montage ends with Nefario furious that Gru's been parenting instead of helping him. At the bank, we learn that Victor is Perkins' son.
Yeah.
Perkins explains he needs to get the ray gun back. Squid gun! Oh, yeah! Which I like. And actually, the use of the squid gun in the next scene is very good. It's bedtime at Gru's, and he reads the girls the Little Sleepy Kittens book, which I love the Little Sleepy Kittens book. I think it's so cute.
Yeah, that really is.
Little finger kitten puppets. And he's like, oh, this is literature? This book is so long. It's like 5 pages.
Yeah.
It does exist, John, if only from the films. $5.99 on the website that does the books and doesn't pay its staff very well.
I was going to say Weatherstones.
Weatherspoons, yeah, well, they also don't. And he also puts out books on his tables that make me go, "This is literature."
It's more like a menu.
Gru refuses to kiss them goodnight, which is obviously because of his mum. Oh, bloody mum!
Yeah.
Gru asks Nefario to move the date of the heist. Nefario points out it's because of the girls' dance recital. They need to go. If Gru doesn't do it, he will. Did you see the date, by the way?
26th of May.
26th of May.
Did you get the lunar cycle?
What do you think I am? Fucking Witches of Eastwick? Go on.
Filming.
Half moon.
Totally eclipse.
Very good.
I feel like a Jaffa cake now.
You look like one.
You look like one.
It's all them tanning salons. Anyway, May the 26th in history, John, 1967. The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band is released.
Right.
1986, the EU adopts the European flag.
Nice.
1966, John, Helena Bonham Carter, English actress, was born. The last time England had an actress? And 1981, Jason Manford was born.
Wow.
How is he fucking younger than me?
No. How's he still relevant?
Oh, it's just not funny. The Minions are photocopying the bums for some reason, and the plane grows back to its normal size.
Yeah.
That'll be important. The door goes, and Gru and the girls are having a tea party. It's quite cute. Here's Miss Hattie. She got a call saying they were being returned. Gru's just like, yeah, all right, go on then, take them back. But he's sad. Nefario's like, I did it for your own good. The thing with Nefario is, right, the first time I watched this at the cinema, I had absolutely no idea at all that was Russell Brand. And I thought it was just some American putting on a really, really bad English accent.
Yeah. Well,
it is, because I can't do like a proper English accent, like what Americans would do as an English accent. Oh, I just do what they think we talk about that. And that's that. My English accent is Nefario. Anyway.
I can't even do one.
It's all right. You don't need to in Scotland. In fact, you'll probably just get beat up if you do.
I don't.
The girls end up in the box of shame. They end up in a box of shame of their own.
Oh, it's horrid.
The day of the heist here, Gru in his fetching pink spacesuit, because I think it'd been put in with some reds, hadn't it, in the wash, in the montage.
Somebody forgot to separate.
Yeah. He's boarding the shuttle when the Minions give him a ticket to the recital, the girls' dance recital. The shuttle launches and Vector hitches a ride, but Gru shocks him off. As he leaves the atmosphere, we see the floating minion from earlier on.
Yep.
Which I love the callback. Gru reaches the moon and shrinks it to the size of an apple, causing the surf to not be up and a werewolf to become a man again. I read a massive article on how the moon affects waves and various other things. But again, it's another one of those things that every now and again this happens, listeners. If you listen to every episode, you'll know. Every now and again this comes up that I can't quite get it down to 2 or 3 facts that,
it's all nothing,
that I could just, I would just read it out like that fucking AOL Time Warner fucking thing I did that time. I'm not doing that again.
You do that again.
Until I do it again.
You just don't learn.
Mate, pigeons learn faster.
You learn this time, though.
About the moon. He grabs the moon, heads off to the dance recital. Back at base, Kevin grows back to normal size. He'd been shrunk previously. The shrink ray's worn off. Nefario can't get hold of Gru on the phone, so he jumps on his mobility scooter. We've got to warn him, and fast. But not that fast. And that's the joke. It's really slow. And I remember that from the trailer. We've seen that in the trailer, thinking, it's not a great gag. But I guess you can't have all the hits in the trailer, can you?
Oh, yeah.
Although I've almost been run down by these more than once. They're pretty fucking fast. Mm-hmm. And I assume at least one of us is going to get hit by one in fucking Benidorm.
Oh, I've no doubt. But we're going to get ourselves, what are the things that you lean on and with the 2 wheels?
Oh, mate, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And we're going to call ourselves the Black Widows.
Oh. It's Wild Hogs all over again, isn't it? pissed fucking Glaswegians and me
Oh, it's
trying to
going to be so
corral
funny.
you all, but then you all get on fucking little two-wheeled motorised.
Yeah,
Oh no!
segue. That's it. That was a good segue into that conversation.
Did the guy that created those not end up driving one off a cliff and
I don't
dying?
know, because they say that about the guy that invented body jogging. He died of a heart attack and stuff like that. So I don't know if these are just urban legends.
Did Clive Sinclair not die on the
On the
A59?
A50, a truck driving in his computer.
His fiberglass computer. Anyway. Gru smashes the rocket down outside the hall, but the show's finished and everyone's gone home. The note on his chair says, Edith and Agnes' dad. I was like, oh, that's sad. Vector's kidnapped the girls. Gru heads over and gives him the moon, but he refuses to release the girls. So Gru gets angry. He dances over these missiles that get thrown out.
It's not watching Superman 4 all over again, isn't it?
Jesus, I hope I never will have to watch Superman 4 again. Dodges the missiles and punches the shark. It's like the film Zombie 2. Do you remember that? The zombie underwater punching the shark.
Yep, punching the shark.
Fucking hell.
A legend.
Vector escapes in the escape pod, and this is where I first noticed the pyramid next to his lair painted like the sky. Gru runs up it and grabs the tail of the craft. Nefario and the minions come to his rescue, and he explains the larger the mass of the object, the quicker the shrinking wears off.
Yep.
As soon as he says this, the moon starts to get bigger on Vector's ship. Gru gets his ship close to Vector's, attaches a grapple line, but the girls refuse to jump. Gru explains giving them back was the worst mistake he ever made.
Yep.
Agnes and Edith jump, but Vector grabs Margot before she can, and she falls hanging off the grappling line. When it snaps, Gru and Margot plummet to the earth, but they're caught by a chain of minions to the rescue.
Yellow pills.
And the moon returns to its correct size with Vector on it and ends up on the moon with like a plastic bag on his head.
Yeah, that's good.
I've played Manhunter. That's not how that...
that didn't work.
Manhunt. At bedtime, Gru wrote them a book of his own, One Big Unicorn, where he puts his big nose through the hole to make the horn. I was like, that's quite cute. It's basically the story about kittens, or the girls. And the last line is, the last bit is, they made him laugh, they made him cry, he never should have said goodbye. Now he knows he could never part from those three little kittens who won his heart. And then I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So sweet. And then he finally kisses them goodnight, and Margot tells him that she loves him.
Right.
Outside, the minions are waiting for kisses as well, which I know is kind of good. And he's like, no. And then he's like, oh, go on then, which I liked. We finally get to see the girls doing Swan Lake. Mum tells him that she's proud of him because he's a good parent.
Yeah, that's it.
She's just got levels, that's all. Mum's got levels. The minions get sick of Swan Lake and put on the Bee Gees, You Should Be Dancing, which, by the way, John's a fucking banger of a tune.
That's a banger, isn't it? That really is.
Absolutely.
It worked really well with this as well. It's quite good.
Yeah, and everyone gets up and dances, including Gru, dances a bit like me. You Should Be Dancing, 1976 single for the Bee Gees. Topped the charts in the USA and Canada, but only made it to number 5 in the UK. Oh. And it's one of 8 singles off the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
Jesus.
Can you imagine releasing 8 singles this day and age?
They've got their money's worth out of that, didn't they?
Absolutely. And the post-credits scene, I assume, was in 3D because they're putting stuff at the
right your face.
Yeah. Ian, do you remember? Did we watch this in 3D? What a fad that was, by the way.
Yeah, but I think in that one I didn't watch the 3D, but what they did was I think they brought the screen tighter, and then the bits were coming out the black bit at the bottom, so it was your face.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah, I've got you. Yeah, okay.
You get me?
Oh, I get you, bruv. Okay. And that's the movie. Done. Have you got any more facts while I tot them up?
Yep. Retina scanning goes back to 1935. Jesus Christ.
Oh, right.
It's a long time. They're saying that the idea of shrinking stuff is scientifically implausible because shrinking something to a sort of an atom level, atoms is pretty much the smallest particle you can get, so they don't think it's possible to shrink stuff.
Okay.
which makes sense. I think we've spoken about this before. The fastest roller coaster, because we're on a roller coaster, is the Formula Rossa that goes 149 mile an hour. But
Sounds semi-familiar.
something like that. Pizza Hut introduced the stuffed crust pizza.
Yeah, they want stuffed crust pizzas. Yeah.
Yep. And the modern wingsuit was invented in the mid-90s and developed by somebody called Patrick de Gargoida.
Oh, that's easy for you to say.
Yeah, I'm not saying it again. That's me.
Okay. The Earth's moon, John, is 1/4 of the Earth's width and the 5th largest satellite in the solar system. Okay, and that's all I've got. So,
Nice. Short and sweet. Just look.
how many do you think we've got?
83,
It's higher than 83.
95,
It's a little bit higher than 95.
99.
Oh, it's 97.
Oh, that's all right.
97. That's not bad, is it? It's not
That's
bad.
all right.
And the thing is, I think because every now and again we hit 100, like we hit 100 listeners. If you don't listen to every episode, we hit 100 probably once every 2 months.
Aye.
I think we've hit 100 probably 5 or 6, 7 times now.
Yeah, we need to.
So 97's all right. 97's all right when we don't get 100, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
If you like what we do, again, please www. That's www.
World Wide Web.
100 things we learned from film.co.uk, and that has all of our links and all the bits and pieces that we are doing. But you can also find our Patreon on there. So go on there and sign up to our Patreon. We will give you a shout out. Just like the following lovely people, where I got a list somewhere here, a list of people that I like because they give us money. Last month, just a quick reminder, last month the money went to Charity Mate. It went to our... it ended up going to not a Nottingham specific charity. It ended up going to a knife charity, a UK-based knife, anti-knife charity, not a knife charity, not one that goes around like sharpening people's knives. Excuse me, madam, your tomatoes haven't been cut right there. Here, use my steel for free. So, in order of people that signed up, ? Yeah, upwards. We've got Phil Fairish, Rachel Plant, Gadget from Modern Escapism, Stig from Modern Escapism, Josh Wilson from Super Familiar with the Wilsons and a million other podcasts, Gavin Belson from the Be There with Belson podcast, Gavin McGill from the No podcast, Ian Graham, who's also a Modern Escapism this week, by the way, from Cult Connections, Mono, I was like, that's not anybody's name, but that's his real name. I'm not going to give that away. Mono from Mono Rants, Biggie from Modern Escapism as well, Punk from What the Fuck Do You Want? By the way, Punk's advice to me for going to Benidorm is stay hydrated.
Oh,
is that all you've got? Maybe stay out of prison would be good. Yeah.
I was expecting more for Punk, to be fair.
Joe from Hallmark of Greatness, Aaron from Z1 Podcast. I'm going to give a shout out to Aaron for a little while. He hasn't been in touch. Dan from Be There with Belson, Nigel Davis from the Wonder Emporium, who is currently knocking up a few bits and pieces for us. Surprises on that. Emily, Vint, Ian McComish, previously mentioned, with his fantastic laugh. Paul Parks from SB Film Viewers. Maria from Bantha Liberation Front. Fucking hell, I forgot that was called. Ali, Dale, and Megan, who are doing MegaCon in Carlisle coming up. They've got some radio plays happening there.
What?
So they won't miss us at all not being there.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey.
Rob Jones from the Lone Wolves Collective and Jen Stewart from the Northeast. I don't know where Jen lives these days. I've seen Jen for about 20 years. So all those fantastic people in the order of the people that signed up, by the way. Nice. So that's good. Thank you so much for your monies, which last month went to charity. This month's going into the kitty for me to do daft things with. Just do daft things with. You know, if it gets that we're desperate, we'll start paying our hosting fees with it, but at the minute we just do daft little things. We run things, we buy things, and we just keep things kind of running with that money. So thank you to all you wonderful people. Yeah. Keep your money rolling in. It's like fucking telethon, this, isn't it?
Keep the dream alive. Yeah.
Michael Aspel. Hi. John, anything to say to the listeners before we go?
Just, I've, it's weird because we're doing it every 2 weeks now. It feels a bit weirder because when I do it, I'm really excited to do it. I'm really excited because the feedback I'm getting is really good. I've a few people heard it now, and everybody's loving it. Mainly me.
When John, we've got our lives together, when we're not in a house full of boxes and a house full of bridezillas and things like that, we will we'll get our shit
Yeah,
together and we'll come back to
yeah,
listeners. We
definitely.
will go back to weekly. We will go back to
Yeah,
weekly.
definitely. Because
We
I'm
need
really
to,
missing it.
or a minimum of 3 a month. Let's maybe say we'll go to 3 a month. See how we get on. See if we can go back
Yeah,
to weekly. But yeah, that's
agreed.
what we'll do. We'll do that, and it'll be great fun. But look, that's the show. Next month, something else. Who fucking knows? But for now, he's been John. I've been Planty, and this has been 97 things we've light bulbed from Despicable Me. See ya.
See you guys.